Thank you. Hello, welcome to the meeting. As the chair is not here today, the committee members will need to elect a chair for this meeting. So can I hear a nomination, please?
I'll nominate Councillor Dragonetti.
I'll second that. Thank you very much.
All in favour? Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
And over to you, Chair.
Well, good evening and welcome to this meeting of the South Oxfordshire District Council General Licensing Committee. I'm Councillor Peter Dragonetti. I'm chairing this meeting. The meeting is being streamed live on the Council YouTube channel for public viewing. Officers and public speakers are able to join remotely if they wish. Three procedural matters. If you're joining remotely, please, and not speaking, please turn off your microphone and camera. When the meeting is ended, I will ask for confirmation the live stream is ended. And then we'll leave the virtual meeting and make our way out of the building. Right. Do we have any apologies for absence?
Yes, we have apologies from councillors Giles, Gordon, Creed, Hinton and Rob.
Apologies for absence. The committee has asked to adopt and agree for me to sign as correct record the minutes of the committee meeting held on the 30th of September 2024. Can I have a proposal? I second that. Okay, all in favour? Right, declarations of interest. Are there any declarations of disclosable pecuniary interest or any conflicts of interest in the respective items on the agenda for this meeting? I see none. Urgent business. We've got no items of urgent business. I will now the update to the joint contaminated land strategy. I will now hand over to the officer to introduce the report. It's Simon Jones and Scott Williams. Simon,
Scott's going to do that.
Scott, hello, Scott.
Thank you, Chair. Hello, good evening, members. So just to set the scene, the council has a legal duty to publish a contaminated land strategy and periodically review this strategy to ensure that it remains up to date. The original strategy was published in 2002, so it's quite an old document, and there's been significant changes to the legislation and statutory guidance since then. So the report seeks approval by Licensing Committee of the adoption of an updated version of the council's contaminated land strategy, which is now a simplified document, and that's in line with current legislative requirements and statutory guidance. It also reflects our current approach for primarily addressing contaminated land through the planning regime. So contaminated land or land contamination is a material planning consideration and must be considered when determining planning applications. Planning decisions should ensure that the site is suitable for its proposed use, taking account of ground conditions and any risks arising from land contamination. And after remediation, as a minimum, land should not be capable of being determined as contaminated land under Part 2A of the Environmental Protection Act 1990. And what Part 2A does really is it provides a means of identifying and remediating land that poses significant risk to health, either health or the environment, where there is no alternative solution. So by updating the strategy, the council will continue to be clear that land contamination is primarily addressed through the development control system, and obviously the council's intervention through Part 2A only in extreme cases. So I'm joined by members of the Environmental Protection team, and we'd be happy to answer any questions that the committee has.
Thank you, Scott. Do we have any questions, Scott?
I've just got one question. Obviously, the geology doesn't change, thankfully, but I'm just curious as to why it's taken 22 years to update the actual what we have in front of us now.
That's a very good question. I will hand over to the officers if that's okay, because they predate me.
I think it's just something we've not got to as a piece of work, basically, and it's now time to do it. The guidance has been updated, and it's just time to do it from there.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much. Any further questions? I see none. So thank you very much, Scott.
Thank you,
we can. I will now look for a recommendation. The recommendation could be.
I recommend to accept I don't know if that's what the
Yes.
but to
You
accept.
to recommend that the committee adopts the adopted joint contaminated land strategy 2024.
Yes.
And we also agree that any future minor changes such as legislation updates to the strategy are dealt with under an individual cabinet member decision.
Yes.
Thank you very much. Do we have a second for that?
Seconded.
Okay, sure. Put it to the vote.
Can I talk?
Oh, please. Yes.
Yeah, I'd like to thank officers actually for updating this. It clearly needed doing, and I like the way you've done it. It's clear, it's concise, it's a good read. So yeah, very happy to accept this. Obviously something we need to do, and I'm very pleased to see it. So thank you.
Because of the way of being kept up to date. So because we'll go to the vote now. Yeah, vote for the vote. All those in favour? Yes. Okay. So thank you very much, Simon and Scott, for very much that update. I'm very pleased we've got it in place. We're now legal. Next item on the agenda is the revocation of the Wallingford Air Quality Management Area. And officers again, Simon and Scott are going to talk us through it. Scott.
Yes, Chair, I'll introduce again, and again joined by officers from the Environmental Protection Team, so we can take any questions the committee has at the end. So the council has a legal duty to assess and manage air quality in the district, declaring air quality management areas, which are referred to as AQMAs, when national objectives aren't met, and revoking them when compliance is achieved. So this report seeks to formally approve the revoking of the Wallingford Air Quality Management Area, which has now met national air quality objectives, and that's been happening since 2017. By approving the revocation, the council will comply with DEFRA's guidance, reflecting the sustained improvements achieved in Wallingford. And in conclusion, the evidence clearly shows that Wallingford has consistently met national air quality objectives for several years, and the council has a duty, as I've mentioned, to revoke the AQMA. This decision is supported by DEFRA, and it reflects the positive progress made in improving air quality in the district. And I recommend to the licensing committee to formally approve the revocation.
Thank you very much. Do you have any questions for Scott? Simpson?
Yeah, one question. I mean, what do you think the main reasons are for this improvement?
I mean, Simon will be able to give the detail, but the sorts of things that contribute to it are things like electric cars, because obviously they're not polluting the atmosphere when being used. Simon, do you want to add the other bits and bobs that contribute?
I think it's a combination of electric cars, as Scott's mentioned, and also vehicles getting cleaner, and diesels particularly getting cleaner. And I think work pattern changes in relation to COVID have taken that pressure off the peak, morning school run and evening rush hours. So I think that as a combination of sort of aided us, allowed us to air quality improvements, allowed us to be in this position to vote the AQMA.
Thank you.
Councillor, yes.
Yes, I think you suggested that this is a suggestion by this council in line. I mean, what I'm reading is that DEFRA says do it, or else. Yeah, yes. I mean, I mentioned that because although obviously there clearly has been an improvement, and it's very good to know, there is still people who get concerned about other types of pollutant that aren't officially measured, and so we do not necessarily feel that we can rest easy in our beds because there is a wider problem. I mean, that just wants to know about.
Yeah, I think this AQMA is only around nitrogen dioxide, which is primarily from the vehicle exhaust.
Yeah.
Particulate matter is obviously something we look at as well. We report that in our annual steps report. We write to DEFRA, and that's something that there's a correlation between nitrogen dioxide and PM. We don't believe we have a PM issue across our district, but it's something we'll continue to monitor and keep an eye on in relation to the guidance from DEFRA and where we have to do and keep an eye on it. But yeah, air quality is not going to go away. We can continue monitoring nitrogen dioxide across Wallingford as part of this piece, maybe slightly reduced network, but that will be continuing. It's not a case of stopping everything in relation to Wallingford. But yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you very much, Simon. I see no further questions. So thank you very much, Simon and Scott. So thank you for your work on this, and it's good to know that Wallingford's getting cleaner. Now got an official seal of approval. So someone like to propose that the licensing committee formally revoke the air quality management area. Councillor Simpson would like to propose that, and please go around and second it. So, Magdalene, like to say anything?
Yeah, no, I'd obviously like to thank officers, and I think this is a good news story. You know, the fact that we can revoke it is good news, and the fact that we're still monitoring it is good news, and the fact that we're also still monitoring particular matter as well is good news. So, and I think something else I noted in the report was that the other two areas as well in South Oxfordshire are also in line to be revoked next year.
Hopefully, we need to see
Hopefully,
how the
if it continues to show good signs.
Yes.
So all in all, I'm very pleased to see this actually. So sometimes when you talk about revoking, it seems to be a bad thing, but here it seems to be a good thing. So
Indeed, yes.
Thank you.
Okay, in that case, we can go to a vote. All those in favour? I think that's the motion is carried, so it's revoked.
Lovely.
Lucky old Wallingford one. Okay. Right. I think that concludes the business of the meeting.
It does.
And I can declare that we finished the meeting at 6:13.
Lovely. Thank you.
I shall sign these minutes. Thank you much, everyone. We broadcast and stop, I guess.